welcome Dr. Anthony Harper, a lead investigator for anti-Semitism and religious freedom violations. Hi, Dr. Harper, how are you?
Well, I'm very thankful here to be at the White House, Zohar, and a sunny day here. And I would want to believe that the sunny day is indicative of sunny results of President Trump winning this election.
You know, we have to remember that the election day is a celebration for democracy, and we need to remember that not every citizen on the globe has the opportunity to vote in a free elections. So I'm jealous of you being there in election day. I assume it will be a wonderful day and hopefully wonderful outcomes as well.
Right.
So we have election day today, and what I really want to understand is what is at stake here with regards to Israel. What will happen if Biden wins, and what will happen if Trump wins?
Okay, well, very clearly, what I see, a lot of evangelical Christians in America see that it would be bad for Israel if Joe Biden would win, because Joe Biden and Obama, previously their administration, showed their anti-Semitism by their support for Iran over Israel, and Israel was mistreated. And I also see a big difference for President Trump as the only president to move the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem and to honor Israel's sovereignty over the Golan Heights and Judea and Samaria. And Biden and his associate Kamala Harris would never put Israel in that position of blessing Israel like that.
Do you think there is a possibility that they will withdraw from previous statements by the administration?
Oh, very clearly. I see that they would withdraw from this recent peace deal with UAE and Bahrain and Sudan. I mean, you know, if since they've supported Iran in the past, there's no way that there could be peace with Israel if they're supporting Iran.
Yeah, and I think every Israeli should be concerned with regards to the way the U.S. administration deals with Jerusalem, issues with regards to Jerusalem, to Temple Mount, and to Judea and Samaria.
Right.
So obviously, any statement there will be very, very influential in our area. Okay, let's go to the other end. If Trump wins, what do you think it will do to the peace process and to the deal of the century?
Well, very clearly, if Trump wins, that would continue, and we'll see a lot more Arab nations joining in this peace deal. I know the big one that President Trump was hoping for is Saudi Arabia, which is very likely to happen. And then when Saudi Arabia joins in on this peace agreement with Israel, many other Arab nations would side as well. That weakens Iran. That strengthens, I think the Israeli-U.S. relationship. President Trump is the most, I see, pro-Israel president ever in U.S. history.
Okay, let's go back to the U.S. for a moment and talk about the religious liberty. What is the difference between Trump and Biden regarding religious liberty? What will happen again? What to policies if Biden wins?
Well, clearly, for a lot of evangelicals here, they would see that with Biden and Kamala Harris, there would be more of a shutdown, a control of churches as well as synagogues, and singling out Christians and Jews, and a form of persecution here was really happened with these Democrat governors and Democrat mayors. So it would be appalling. It would be so upsetting to the issue of religious liberty here. And I had an interview with Idaho Lieutenant Governor Janice McGeehan of Idaho, said very clearly that government has no authority, no right to interfere with the operation of the churches here, whether it's coronavirus or anything else, because this is really related to our rights to have a peaceful assembly and to freedom of worship here. This is a really big issue for the founding fathers, that freedom of religion, what makes America great, Zohar. And Biden and Harris would have a direct assault on those religious freedoms. And I know President Trump has talked often about Biden and Harris as being from that socialist perspective, and he even used the big C, which stands for communism.
Yeah.
Biden and Harris are really showing their true colors with the assault on religious freedom. And it's right out of the communist playbook, to create a crisis and blame it on someone else. And they are definitely blaming President Trump for a lot.
Mm-hmm. And perhaps the younger generation does not remember, but in communism, there is no religious liberty at all. And all kinds of religions suffered under the communism. And
yes.
I'm wondering, you're from Idaho. Give us an insight. How do you see the elections in the Idaho today?
Well, Idaho is, for most of my recollection, always been a red state. So very Republican, although we do have a lot of people fleeing California to come to live to Idaho. And the local Idahoans, the residents, are hoping that these aren't the liberal people from California leaving to take up residence in Idaho. But I see Idaho being clearly red Republican in this election.
And what do you think the voter turnout will be today?
I think it'd be a very high turnout. A high turnout I would expect would be due to the Democrat governors and mayors that have shut down businesses, a severe shutdown of our economy and the loss of freedom. So what is hoped, I believe, that from a lot of evangelicals, that it would be the largest turnout and vote in person, as far as in response to the negative behavior, the the behavior of the Democrats to shut down our economy. And people are really fed up with this, I believe, fed up with this control over their freedom. So if we see a groundswell of in-person voting today, voting against the Democrat agenda, shutting their businesses down, then it puts President Trump way over the top and easily winning this election.
And obviously polls are not anything to rely on. We've seen that on the previous elections.
Right.
Is there any other way we can predict what is going to happen today?
Well, I would also say that another way that it's often been referred to is the stock market. With President Trump really doing very well, better than any other president that I can think of regarding the economic situation. Now, we had coronavirus that really kind of, put a little a kink in that, but the economy is really picking up. So I would say, the issue of the stock market is a good sign of with President Trump, having election victory here. So if the stock market, from what I understand, is responding very favorably to having President Trump. And I think there's some other leading factors. I think Zohar, the huge turnouts, in-person turnouts to President Trump's rallies, where Joe Biden and Kamala Harris didn't have the huge physical turnout to their rallies like they did.
I see. Well, Dr. Harper, one last question. I want to ask you about the social media and the freedom of speech over there. I don't know if you know, but the Newsrael Facebook page has been blocked twice without any explanation provided. Is that something that you encountered in the States as well? And what do you think, where does it come from and where is it going to?
Yeah, it was very alarming about that. I've heard reports that President Trump has talked about being blocked from Twitter or some other social media. And it's very disturbing, Zohar, that, Newsrael would be blocked, Facebook. And I don't know why they singled out, Newsrael, other than maybe you being an Israel news service. Our Facebook page of our conservative news here in the U.S. has not been blocked. So
I'm glad
I
to
hope,
hear that, by the way. Okay.
yeah, I hope that Newsrael will be unblocked very soon, and that President Trump, in his position, him winning the election will be in favor of conservative news sources not being blocked. He will use his influence to protect Newsrael and other conservative news sources and their right to have that voice, that platform on Facebook.
Definitely. Well, Dr. Anthony Harper at the White House, I wish you a blessed and great election day. Let's hope that the results will be just as we expect them. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, it's great to talk with you, Zohar. We would encourage people to learn more about the White House. I'm one of the few reporters here that addresses truth. I'm surrounded by a hostile media here. And if people want to know more about our news service, it's the InterMountain Christian News, leading the way of exposing anti-Semitism. And that's imcnews.org for InterMountain Christian News.
Beautiful. And keep on fighting for the truth. It is so important every day and especially today. Thank you so much.
It is. Okay. It's great to join you, and we'll pray for good election results.
Definitely. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.